Finally, the server training is over, and it is now to talk about markup margins. In a restaurant, the price of the food must be marked up enough to pay for the food itself and some of the restaurant or all the restaurant's bills. Sometimes this is tricky because for certain foods, there may be a limit to how much someone is willing to pay. Some foods are more costly, and therefore the markup isn't large, but other cheaper foods can make up the difference. In this assignment, help the chefs determine an appropriate price for their menu items. Use the markup formula to determine an average markup. Find the difference between the markup and the typical restaurant price and use the information to price the food. So here's the markup formula. The price equals the cost divided by 3/10. In general, the cost of the food is about 30% of the marked up price of the food. So see how in the other one I was talking about percentages and we moved the decimal 2 places. So that's how they came up with the formula. We're going to look here for trying to figure out our price for a grilled sirloin with mashed potatoes and green beans. They've already found the cost of the food for us, which is $4.41. And they wanted us to determine the suggested markup. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the cost, which is $4.41, and divide by 3/10. Now, what I want to do is I want to go ahead and move our decimal. So if you see, the bottom number is our divisor, and I'm going to need to move that one place. If you want to do it this way, we can move it 2 places. And I'll move the decimal up here 2 places as well. Now I'm going to write it out as a long division problem. 441 divided by 30. Now 30 cannot go into 4. It can go into 44 one time. Multiply that through and subtract, and we're left with 14, and we bring down the 1. 141. 30 can go into 141 about 4 times. We multiply that through. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. And we subtract, and we're left with 21. Now remember how I showed you to add a decimal, bring it up, and then add a 0 and move it down. Now how many times can 30 go into 210? Well, it can go 7 times. And 30 times 7 is 210, and we get 0. Now, this is not a normal price. You're not going to go to the store and say, oh, it's $14.07. No, we're going to go to the store and say it's $14.70. So we put a 0 at the end because this is money we're talking about. $14.70. Now, a typical restaurant will charge $14.95. So what we have to do here is we're taking the restaurant price, $14.95, minus what we came up with, the markup, and we get a difference of 25 cents. So our difference is 25 cents. Now we need to figure out our price, the price you think that people will pay. It should be between the suggested markup and our typical restaurant price. This is any price that you want to pick. You could pick $14.71, $14.94. It's really up to you. I'm going to just say $14.85 for my price. I will tell you that sometimes you're going to get a suggested markup that's going to be larger than your typical restaurant price. When that happens, when you subtract, you're going to get a negative amount, but you just go ahead and pick your price and do the best you can. Do this with both pages. And look at number 1 at the bottom. Which dinner is the best deal? Meaning which one had the largest positive difference? And which is the best deal for the restaurant? Which one had the largest negative difference? excuse me. It is suggested, number 2, that your entree prices at most sit-down restaurants are within $10 of each other. What is your highest price dish and your lowest price dish? Then did you stay within the $10 difference? These are just up to you. So remember, there is no right or wrong answer.